Hey, what's up? The Brew Dude is back here with another beer. Well, beers. This is another beer from the Modern Times Brewery Marathon that I'm actually in right now. Today I have two of the same beer, but it is differently canned and carbonated. We have the Black House. Okay. This here is a 5.8% alcohol by volume, 90 SRM, which is black, 40 IBU, final gravity is 1.018, so it's thick. Okay, coffee roasted stout. Then I have also the Black House, but this one is the Nitro, with coffee, coconut, and cocoa. It's also 90. 40 IBUs, and this one the body's a little bigger, 1.019 final gravity. So based on the ingredients, it's almost similar. So we have 70. So they use coffee, 75% Ethiopian. This one uses, and 25% Sumatran, the same as the Nitro, 75% Ethiopian, 25% Sumatra. They both use two-row. This one uses two-row, kiln, coffee, flake barley, pale chocolate, Munich, Crystal 60, roasted barley, midnight wheat, and oats. And this one uses two-row, oats, Crystal 60, chocolate pale malt, Munich, roasted barley, flake barley, midnight wheat, carapils, and kiln coffee malt. Huh. So there is some differences, but a lot of similarities. Obviously, this is the Nitro beer, and this is just the traditional CO2 beer. What I'm going to do is, I'm going to try both of them, but I'm kind of going to turn it into like, which one to me it's better, okay? This ABV is 5.8. It's the same ABV as the original and traditional one. So let's go ahead and pour these guys. That way you can see and I can share, so you can go out and find the one that's going to be best for you. All right, so we're going to go ahead and pour the Black House one first. Dark for sure. Looks like a nice dark coffee. Let that fall over a bit. Now let's pour the Nitro. This one doesn't have a Nitro capsule. I prefer the ones with the Nitro capsules, just my preference. For whatever reason, I feel like it infuses them better. I think the method that they use these is Nitro infuse them and then bottle or can them. And you might have to drink them out of the can, but I like pouring them. So we're going to pour this guy. Try to do a little rough pour as best as I can, but you obviously right off the bat you can tell a big difference. So let's do a kind of a compare and contrast. Alright, so the traditional one, CO2 poured, furious carbonation, it spilled over, but that's something that you're used to for a CO2 beer. Especially when you get a big beer like that, the CO2 reacting to the actual thickness of the beer is going to have it spill over a little bit. This one, on the other hand, there was no anything. It was very smooth, very calm. I couldn't even hear the pour. It even poured out differently, the sounds of it. Yeah, so they both look the same color. The heads are different. This one's creamy and small. This one's larger bubbles and thicker. This is more of a yellow brown. This is more of a creamy white brown, light brown to it. Okay, so there's always significant differences just right off the bat. Okay, but now what the most important thing is the taste. So let's taste the regular CO2 one first. That's good. So it's definitely crisp. Right off the bat, that carbonation has a nice crisp to it. The body, I feel, is about medium to full bodied. Sweet right off the front, a little slick. I don't want to say slimy, but slick. Not as bitter. Some burnt roast coffee notes for sure. A little bit of chocolate. And a little mouthfeel like it does have some type of oats or wheat in it. Overall, such a good beer. It's a little sweet. It's bitter from the coffee grains, from the coffee grounds, or whatever coffee bean that they used, and from the burnt malt. That's the bitterness that I get, not specific hoppy bitterness. And then it ends off nice and coffee, chocolatey, and slight oat, like that oat powder. Solid beer. I don't taste the 5.8% alcohol, which I shouldn't. Solid beer for sure. Now, the Nitro. See what this is about. I guess I should have talked about the scent on this one. Scent is coffee, chocolate, burnt grain, a little tinny, a little like tin. That's what happens usually when you use a lot of dark roast. You get this little like metallic scent to it. But overall, pretty good. So let's jump over to this one. The aroma's lighter for sure. This one's just kind of like coffee. Like raw, actually like spent coffee grounds. That's really it. I mean, I don't get no hops. I don't get any other type of oats. Just coffee and a little slight chocolatey. So, cheers. Okay. The body on this one feels bigger, more like a full medium beer, like closer to the full side. Sticky, very smooth. That Nitro just smoothed out the beer really well. Everything is getting a little coconut flavor, but it's still getting the burnt bitterness of the burnt grains, the chocolate just lightly right at the bottom. Coffee, everything is kind of reduced, almost like if they mix some type of lactose in here. Get a little bit of coconut in there. And just everything is smoother. This is a little bit rougher. It almost feels like it's crisp and it cracks and it'll cut you. And this one feels like it's just going to like soothe everything and just make that feel that much better. The mouthfeel on this is way smooth, like silk. And that little small head at the top just accompanies the whole beer completely. All right, so now which one's better? Not one is better than the other. They have two different feelings. If you're a big fan of Nitro beer, this is a good one to try out. If you don't like Nitro beers, then forget that Nitro beer and just stick with the regular one. Just know that you have options and you have a choice to do. For me, I like this one just a slight more. Why? Because the Nitro beer, what Nitro does is it tends to soften everything. And I think sometimes it might soften too much. I'm getting more of a fuller flavor here. I'm getting less of a flavor here. And for a nice, what they call here a coffee roasty stout, I want to have that stout flavor. I don't want to have it too smooth. So I would go for this one. Is this one bad? No. I like this one a lot. If they don't have this one, I'll get this one. Or maybe I'm just feeling a Nitro that day, and I'll go for the Nitro. Whatever it is, if I confused you already, fine. But just know that you do have an option when it comes to the Black House for modern times. Great beer. I got a couple more, I think, left to go in the series, or about one more. So stay tuned. Look out for them. Once again, thank you for watching, liking, and subscribing. Modern Times Brewery Marathon. That said, the Brew Dude is out.